A poem titled Passing by the Mausoleum of Emperor Qin Shi Huang was written by Wang Wu. Like a green ridge is the ancient tomb, deep in the palace like a purple terrace, the soughing of pines can be clearly heard. It sounds like the wail of the people. My name is Katie Shalikoski, and today I'll be discussing the leader, Emperor Qin Shi Huang, and how he created a legacy not only in China, but across the globe. Leadership is when an individual decides to take action to fix something that they feel needs to be changed. According to Harry S. Truman, men make history and not the other way around. In periods when there is no leadership, society stands still. Progress occurs when courageous, skillful leaders seize the opportunity to change things for the better.
For me, being the first Asian American mayor in the state of Rhode Island really is something that I'm very proud of, and hopefully a legacy that will open many more doors for future generations of individuals, and I'm Chinese American, would follow in my footsteps and see that it's an opportunity where we can serve the public well, and do a lot of great things.
Even though consequences of their actions might be negative, a leader is entrusted to make decisions that will positively impact his or her group. Leadership skills can also be used to convince people to do things. Leadership in this sense comes from not only one person, but a whole mass of people. This relates to the people of China under Emperor Qin Shi Huang's power. Everyone who had assisted the emperor to build the Terracotta Army and the Great Wall was just as important as he was, but received no credit. Legacy, on the other hand, is when leaders leave behind footprints as a guide to show us all what they did. Benjamin Franklin said, "If you would not be forgotten as soon as you were dead, either write something worth reading or do something worth writing." Emperor Qin definitely did something that has been written about.
Now, the first emperor was thought of as a visionary because it was his thoughts of bringing about a unified China, of connecting the Great Wall, and putting forth the Terracotta Warriors as a lasting tribute and legacy for future generations.
Not only was Qin Shi Huang the first emperor in Chinese history, but he was also the most important. Initially named Zhaozheng, the little prince was born in 259 BC in the first month of the Lunar New Year. He lived with his mother, Queen Zhaoji, and his father, King Zhongxiang. Zhaozheng's name was later changed to Yingzheng. In 247 BC, the king died when Yingzheng was only 13, and he was immediately pronounced the new king of Shen. However, he was too young at the time to reign. He gained control of power at age 22 and began the task of conquering the 6 warring states: Qi, Chu, Yan, Han, Zhao, and Wei. In 221 BC, having accomplished his goal, he declared himself Emperor Qin Shi Huangdi, which means first imperial ruler of Qin, the first emperor. Probably his greatest contribution to the practice of government during this time in China was the establishment of the centralized state and the abolition of the feudal system. Although the emperor later died at the age of 50 in 210 BC, he was obsessed with his legacy and immortality. He tried everything, including taking drugs, to find the slightest proof of an afterlife. The emperor's second biggest project was the Great Wall of China, also known as the 10,000 li long wall, meaning long wall. The Great Wall is the longest fortification ever built, and the exact total length is still unknown. The main goal of this project was to protect the Chinese Empire from Mongolians and other invaders. He ordered General Meng Tian to build the Great Wall, and approximately 2 million people were involved in its construction. The most important project, even greater than the Great Wall, was Qin Shi Huang's tomb. None of the other emperors' tombs were as big as his, which demonstrates just how much Qin Shi Huang cared about his position in the afterworld. There were 2 main reasons why this site was selected. The first reason was this site was already the burial area of the Shen kings. The second reason was its good feng shui, the art of positioning man-made structures in harmony with the vital cosmic energy coursing through the earth. The complex was discovered in March 1974 when local farmers were digging up a well and one of them spotted a face looking back at them. Ultimately, 3 huge pits full of about 8,000 terracotta warriors, horses, and chariots were excavated from where they were concealed 5 to 7 meters beneath the ground. Qin Shi Huang requisitioned more than 700,000 laborers to build his tomb, with construction taking 38 years from 247 BC to 208 BC. His son, Hua, later forced everyone who knew about the tomb or participated in its building to be buried alive so that the tomb would be kept a secret. On October 1st, 1979, the Terracotta Warrior Museum was opened to the public in Xi'an, China. This is the site of the permanent museum, but there is also a traveling exhibit in Hong Kong showcasing the Qin Dynasty at the Hong Kong Museum of History. At the museum in Xi'an, you can find thousands of warriors. Down in the pits, some sections or statues are labeled with numbers where you can find a matching description of that certain object. The museum also showcases warriors that still have a little bit of color, some weapons, and bronze horses and carriages. The exhibit in Hong Kong includes many creative features, like a touchscreen that has more information about the terracotta warriors and projectors that show realistic images of how the warriors were damaged and restored. There is also a 3D mirror with moving animation where you can color your own warrior using the touchscreen. According to Michael Schimmick, the true understanding of leadership and legacy, however, comes from studying the histories, errors, successes, and failures of leaders in the past. During his lifetime, Emperor Qin wanted to protect his land and his people, so he was considered a reformer. However, he was also a tyrant, and he created the Great Wall and Memorial at the expense of his people, as physical reminders that he knew would ensure his own immortality and legacy.
The first emperor left a huge legacy that has an impact not only on Chinese culture, but culture all across the world. Now, having the Great Wall and its magnificence being displayed for not only Chinese culture, but all the world to see, and being able to see it even from space is something that is magnificent, and it's truly a wonder in our great world. So having that type of legacy really stay forward to next generation and beyond is something that I think the first emperor has left his mark on the world. And on top of that, with the terracotta warriors, that's another impressive accomplishment that he will forever be known at for generations. To quote John Alston, "The only thing you take with you when you're gone is what you leave behind." The museum in Xi'an is one of many popular world tourist attractions, and people come just to view these incredible clay warriors. Even such famous individuals as Queen Elizabeth II and President Bill Clinton took the time to see these lifelike statues. It seems Emperor Qin achieved his goal of immortality. However, it came at a high cost to his people. He is often referred to as an emperor of myriads of ages. His legacy is preserved today and will be for future generations.